You know the Magna culture, right? Nobody works for me. You people work with me. I'm working for you. The history of mankind has always been dominated by the golden rule. Here's the gold makes the rule. But I don't want to be dominated by anyone. If I feel that strong, I should not be able to dominate somebody either.
So Jürgen, today we're talking about the New Wave Business Association, which the soul of the New Wave Business Association is the Canadian Economic Charter of Rights. And many people already know what the Canadian Economic Charter of Rights initiative is. But what is the New Wave Business Association, or the New Wave Common Sense Business Association, and how is it associated with the Economic Charter of Rights?
Well, that's a fantastic question, right? You know, for the viewers that don't know the Canadian Economic Charter of Rights and Responsibilities, you should go to economiccharter.ca for a brief review of the 7 principles. But the New Wave Common Sense Business Association has developed because we can no longer be complacent. Now, things are becoming very bad for small business owners across Canada. We see it here in Ontario, and it's time that change happens, eh? And the change has to be direct, immediate, and fundamental. There are other business associations, I'm not going to mention who right now, but they're very complacent. They haven't done anything the last year. And small business owners have to band together. They have to come together. And really, the bottom line is government has no business in small business.
It's a great statement. The government has no business in small business. The New Wave Common Sense Business Association, what does it offer to small businesses that join?
The New Wave Common Sense Business Association offers immediate tax relief. One of the planks that we've developed from the Canadian Economic Charter is that small businesses have to be unleashed. There should be no more tax on small businesses.
No tax at all?
No tax at all, because small business is the backbone of the Canadian economy.
And always has been.
Right? And it's suffering. And now, if you unleash tax burdens and also regulatory burdens, you know, businesses can regulate themselves to a large degree when it comes to the environment, ethics, and safety. Small business has to be freed such that an energy can be unleashed now in the economy, such that small businesses can thrive and hire employees and grow. It's an immediate, direct impact on changing the entire Canadian economy right now.
It gives businesses the opportunity to stimulate the economy, to increase employment. Is that correct?
100%, because, you know, if a small business is stumbling and not succeeding, it's not going to hire more employees. And it's, tell the truth, that it's the employees, it's personal income tax that generates most of the taxable income for government. So if you help small business, unchain small business from all the regulations that are unnecessary and the tax burden, such that small business can thrive and hire more employees, you're actually going to grow the taxable income.
Does the New Wave Common Sense Business Association only serve small business, or can any business join the New Wave Common Sense?
Well, you know, we call small business companies that have employees under 300, 1 to 300 employees. So that's pretty broad. In terms of other government definitions, that's including mid-sized companies already. So large companies can join if they want, because we also have planned for large companies. One of the fundamental Canadian Economic Charter principles is that workers should have a share of the economic pie. Large companies, companies over 300 employees, should share profits with their workers. It comes from the Magna Fairness Enterprise principle, where when Magna, workers were allowed to share in the profits there was an untold proportion of energy unleashed. Workers worked smarter, they worked harder, production was
They were motivated.
They were motivated because they had a share of the business. They could help bake the economic pie. And this is what we're advocating for large businesses over 300 employees, is that you have to share some of the profits with the employees.
And Magna showed that this created more growth.
Yes.
Magna grew significantly when they put in a profit sharing model.
It grew immensely. The first year it grew 10%. The following year,
40%,
40%,
100%.
100%, and then 200%. And it grew into being 180,000 workers worldwide in 34 countries.
Incredible. Why do you think no other business has done profit sharing like Magna has?
There have been in the past different models. There are a few that have, but by and large, here's the problem. We don't have large companies in Canada anymore. There are very few, and they've been for now, not just because of the pandemic, even before the pandemic, since 2010, disappearing south of the border. And this is why we're in such a tight spot today, because some would say there's nothing wrong, everything is okay. But really, when you look on paper, the statistics, and really you have an open eye to the homeless people and the tent cities that never existed before.
And the amount of people using the food banks.
The amount of people using the food banks is astronomical.
Yeah.
2.2 million Canadians are using food banks regularly, 1/3 of which are children. That's unbelievable. That's
Devastating statistic.
That's devastating statistic. And this is why our sixth principle is to end poverty at the Canadian Economic Charter, right? We want to end poverty, and you can end poverty by unleashing small business to grow the economy instead of shrinking.
That's the key.
That's the key.
And that's what New Wave Common Sense Business Association seeks to do.
It seeks to do right now, right away, immediately, directly.
That's amazing. Join the New Wave Common Sense Business Association, the only business association advocating for real change and supporting business owners and turning business owners into leaders.